Hey, we are back for another review of All the Queen's Men. We are on season 2, episode 3, entitled Cash of the Titans. All right, so let's jump right into it. Teresa is at Midnight's house. She finally came back to get this doggone baby. And he tells her, like, hey, I completed the job. I killed your husband like you asked me to do. And she's so horribly thankful to him. And she's like, how can I ever repay you? Trying to use her feminine wiles to sleep with this man, I'm assuming to get out of Panama or whatever. And he's like, the best you could do to repay me is give me my damn money, essentially. And she's like, oh yeah, of course. Well, okay, indication number 7,622 that you lying. But okay, cool. She was like, well, they got to find the body first, and then I pay you with the insurance money. And then he texts Doc and tells him, like, hey, the girl that came and got the baby. Teresa came and got the baby, so, we're all good. He ain't told Doc about the little side deal he was trying to finagle, but sure. All right. Diamond is sitting with Amp. Diamond is sitting with Amp at the hospital, and she wakes up out of her slumber, and she's talking to him, and she feels him, and she's like, he's clammy, he's turning blue, what's going on? So she done ran out looking for the nurse. In this moment, I assumed that Mama Nurse Lady had succeeded in killing Amp, but in this episode we find out that she didn't quite succeed. She hasn't succeeded. All right, we're at Madam's. And at Madam's, Doc's other business partner calls her. The concierge calls her while she's at home, and he tells her, hey, turn on the news. And there's a news broadcast or whatever about a house that burned down, and it's the halfway house. And William/Bill is the person of interest in whatever went on. And they have an eyewitness that has come forward. So it seems like he's been able to put some stuff together to take the heat off of her. He knows it was her, and she should have called him, and he would have taken care of it. So the concierge has some sort of vested interest in taking care of Madam, because she's going to be the one to wash the money and launder the money, or whatever her role is in this whole scheme that needs to go on. And he called it in a favor, and Bill is the only person that's on the footage. Blue and Madam is not on there, so good looking out. And he's like, all I'm asking you to do is give me a heads up in the future so I can do my job. And like I said, she's important to both of their operations, so she needs to kind of lay low. And he's like, listen, I have eyes on Bill, but you need to get to him before the cops do. But in the meantime, I'm not going to tell you where he's at until you accompany me to an event tonight. I'll have you back home, before your shift is over down at the club. But come, dress to impress, and I'll see you in a little bit. And she also tells Madam to stop moving out of emotion, which is very good advice, because she does. Sometimes she is very calculated, and that's why I think in the first episode I called her like bipolar or multiple personalities, because she moves very calculated, very thought out in some instances, and in other instances it's the first emotion that she has is the first action that she's going to take. So that's definitely very good advice for somebody like her. All right, he wants to send her somewhere to cool down, and she's very apprehensive. I mean, if I was in the dope game, I wouldn't be going on no dates. I would be apprehensive about everybody, but she has the misfortune of being human, so her curiosity is gonna take her wherever he wants to take her. All right, so Diamond is outside the waiting room, and she is disappointed. And Madam shows up. She tells her that he wasn't breathing. They made her wait outside, and so Madam busts into the hospital room, and they are performing CPR on Amp. So Amp is really about to be out of here, and in her normal demeanor, she threatens him and tells him he better fucking live. And she goes back outside. She's like, Dime, what happened? She was like, I woke up this morning, I was talking to him, and I found his machines unhooked, and he was unresponsive. And so now Madam, she can't be soft. She can't show that type of emotion for too long. So now she's in figure this shit out mode. Like, what happened to my nephew? Somebody did this, and Diamond is like, nobody's been in here because I was in here all night. The only person that came in was the nurse. And so she's like, okay, it's got to be the nurse. Who was the nurse? And so the girl up front is like, don't want to tell who the nurse is, but she sees the lady's picture on the wall. And at the same time, Amp pulls through, CPR works, and he's waking up. He's gonna make it. The doctor thinks that it was septic shock, but Madam ain't no fool, and she knows that some shit ain't adding up. So what's going on? And then he asked about the gunshot, and she was like, well, what did he say it was? Oh, well, he said he got shot. Then that's what the hell it is. If he said he got shot, then I'm sorry. What did he say it was? He said I got stabbed. Okay, then if he said he got stabbed, then that's what the hell it is. Stop asking me questions. Go do your job. And speaking of doing your job, let's talk about this nurse, because the call button on his bed was also unplugged, which there's a lot of unplugged shit happening. There's a lot of sketchiness that's going on. And then she kind of gets emotional. She almost drops a tear. She ain't really drop it, but she did get emotional that she almost lost her nephew. Essentially at her own hands. She was the one that shot him, and so she rushes out. She was like, I can't deal with this. And in this moment, I did notate that Diamond probably feels like I done screwed up again. Like, her demeanor when it comes to Madam, she owes her life. Madam took her in, gave her a job, gave her all these things, gave her a chance, and she done screwed up back to back. Like, she done let this man rob her, and she almost lost her nephew. Wow. Madam is not so concerned, because if Madam was upset, she would have been and knocked your head off. But she is definitely upset. You done screwed up twice in like 2 days. So yeah, I guess you're trading on thin ice, child. All right. She asks Amp. Diamond asks Amp what really happened. He doesn't really answer the question. Says he's good and he'll tell her later. Blah blah blah. All right. I'm gonna take a little pause for the calls. Okay, disclaimer. You may or may not see a libation in these next few videos, and it's the day before my birthday, and y'all just need to give me a hand clap of praise in the comments, or tell me happy birthday, because I'm working when I should be relaxing, but I'm a little behind getting these videos done. So if you see me pick up a glass, just take a drink with me. That's all. All right. Madam is getting out the car. She's getting in the car. She's about to leave the hospital. She's trying to pull it together. And she runs into Miss Mama Nurse Lady outside. And she was like, you unplugged this machine. And she's just acting dumb, like she ain't even do nothing. She claims she would never do that. She took an oath to take care of her patients. And Madam tells her, hey, you better be glad I believe you. I don't know if you should, because if you don't, the only other option would be Diamond. So I don't know if you're just going to let the shit go right now, because emotions are running high, but we're going to go with it. And she was like, and then the Mama Nurse Lady, she was like, well, what's it going to take for you to change your life? And she was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, you have a soul somewhere under all these labels and all this bravado, and it's all going to crumble. And I'm going to just wait and see how God deals with you. If he ain't dealt with it by now, he's not going to deal. So you're going to have to keep you're going to pray a little harder or something. I don't know. You're going to have to put a little works with your faith or whatever it is that you're going to be able to do, because I don't know. But that also may be a sign of foreshadowing as to what's going to happen in the future, because it wouldn't be a series if something doesn't fall apart later on in the season. So, okay, aptly titled. We'll just call it a sign of foreshadowing and shit falling apart yet again. All right. We at the club and the Fab Four are talking. And Babyface tells them about the 10K offer from the married lady, and they like, shit, you walked away from 10K? Like, I'd have let that white man do what he had to do. And he was like, listen, everything ain't for sale. Like, I'm crazy, but I ain't that damn crazy. And all the other guys, like, again, he was like, well, since y'all want to take the money, I got her number if y'all want it. And now they tune starting to change. They ain't really got that same energy. Oh, okay. All right. Fuego is the only one that may potentially need the money, because he not knocking all these chicks off on the side, making this extra money like all the other guys. He's a little more reserved to some of the guys. And Babyface notices this, and he was like, you got something to tell us? He was like, nah, that's just not my thing. I'm not with it. I'm just here to dance, and that's it. And that's it. So it is what it is. All right, Madam walks in and she gives them the marching orders for the night and tells them the Amp is still out and Diamond's still out. So y'all do what y'all need to do. Y'all go ahead and cash out with Blue at the end of the night. Keep my shit running and make my money. All right. And then Midnight is low-key telling on himself. He gonna ask Doc, like, hey, have you talked to Teresa lately? And he's like, no, what's the problem? And basically it was just to see what he knows. He was like, oh, nothing, no, I ain't asked for no reason. Okay, obviously, because why else would you be asking? But sure. All right. Madam has on a beautiful blue evening gown. When I tell you that dress is bad, that she got on. And she tells Blue, go ahead and replace my mirror. I'll be back. Where you been, Blue? Like, I ain't heard from you all day. You good? Like, you're a little off. What's up? And she's like, I'm good. Don't worry me. I'm good. I'm going on a date with the concierge, even though I don't really trust him, but I want to see what the hell this nigga want. Blah, blah, blah. All right, and Blue has been sulking a lot lately because she done killed the love of her life. That was your choice. If you killed the love of your life, then that's just what you have to deal with, baby. This is the life you chose. Your undying loyalty to Madam and the Empire has cost you. Small price to pay, I guess. Big price, but a price nonetheless. All right. So there is a new face performing on the stage, and Babyface, I don't know if he's salty or if he just came up with an idea on how to get this 10 stacks without having to have sex with this white man, right? So he gives him his props, and we know it's a setup because if I'm not mistaken, last episode Babyface was the same one that drugged the new guy, the little neat, naive new guy that was there, and screwed up his first night. So if I'm not mistaken, now he has a history of setting up these new people to do his bidding or to not have competition or whatever the fucking mission is at some point. All right. So he was like, you do side hustles? And he was like, I haven't been invited yet. And Babyface is like, okay, so what are you willing to do for $1,000? And I'm thinking, $1,000? Because the young guy, he was like, shit, I do anything for $1,000. You'll do anything for $1,000? Sir, that's it. You'll do something strange for a piece of change. You will hop. The kid said he will do anything for $1,000. And that just gave me a little insight into his mindset. You have a lot going on, sir. You have so much going on that you're willing to do anything for $1,000. And Babyface is about to take you up on that offer by way of setting you up with this white man. And he also said 1,000, which means the other 9,000 is going to go to Babyface, just for him being the pimp in the situation. All right. And he's like, well, I'm going to take you for a private session when I get off. And the other newbies is trying to tell him after Babyface walks away, like, listen, it's a trap. You nigga know for setting people up. Don't do it. And he's like, man, y'all just hating. All right. You gonna hate it on the back end, but go ahead. Do what you got to do. All right. Madam gets to the landing strip and the concierge is waiting for her. And she's still not really comfortable, not knowing where she's being taken, as you should be. But she gets on the private jet anyway. Back at the club, Trouble is performing, and she's also hosting. And she disses the Fab Midnight and Doc on their intro. They're performing, blah blah blah. All right. Madam and the concierge arrive at a gala, and the gala is at the White House, and she a little bit impressed at the prestige that comes along with the concierge. And so she's walking, she's strutting, she's giving out black girl magic all throughout the room. And they greet the president and the first lady, and they also know who the concierge is. And she didn't really understand why she's there at this point. And he points to the judge and her husband, and they just staring her down. And he was like, well, they are the hosts, and we need to play this much more like chess as opposed to checkers. Again, you're operating off of emotion, and we need to play this game a little better than this. Like, we are in a high-profile room, like, senators to be all these high-profile people. This is the rooms we need to be in, and we need to operate a little better or a little bit more discreetly in order to exist in these spaces. And he calls the judge over to them, and the girls are talking while the guys go to get drinks. And so the judge is like, oh, so you know him? And Madam's like, yeah, I'm with him. And so the judge says, listen, I can make everything stop, I guess, as far as the investigation or whatever her woes is with Madam. Just don't mess up. If you leave my daughter alone, Madam said, it ain't no if. Either you gonna cut the shit or you not. All right, no ifs. Just leave my daughter alone. Sure, absolutely. As long as you leave me alone. All right, we're good. Little pause for the calls. All right. Midnight has a VIP client. And so we'll get back to Midnight's VIP client. Security tells Dot that there's a detective outside and she got to go handle it. It's the girl from last season that was pretending to be a high schooler that wants to now work for Madam as a plant in the FBI to give out information. And she tells her that the other detectives are wondering how she got out of jail and nobody's seen Kat and what's going on. And she wants to be really helpful to them. And Blue tells her, like, never come back here. Unless you want us to hang you upside down again by this meat hook, do not come back. Don't show your face around here again, essentially. And so I guess they don't want to partner with her. It's time to go. All right. Doc sees Fuego sulking in the back, and he knows that he's still not over the bachelorette girl. And he's also thinking about the Lord a lot because her dad was a pastor, but her dad also gave him the most grief. And Doc tells him, like, listen, this is where we at right now. Like, it was great when you was working at the church, but you ain't making this kind of money. And you sitting here back here sulking, and you missing out on all the money to be made outside. And Fuego is in a position where he is conflicted about working there. And Doc tells him, listen, you can make something of yourself, unlike the rest of us. But until you make something of your dreams and yourself, let's go get this money. And Trouble walks in and tells Doc, like, hey, y'all be sharing girls and just keeping up confusion. And he's like, no, we don't share girls. What you talking about? He was like, oh. And Trouble was like, oh, well, I see Teresa up in the VIP with Midnight, so you ain't heard this from me. And so now Doc is like, I don't believe you, but of course you're going to go see anyway. And full of confusion as to what's going on between Midnight and Teresa. Well, we'll figure that out. All right, so we're on the jet, and Concierge tells Madam that she ain't got to try to be hard all the time. And she was like, I guess, if you say so. And she said she was surprised that everybody knew who he was. And she was excited about his little bravado and him being able to command the room. And he tells her, like, listen. And then she immediately goes into worrying about where Bill is, where her money is. And he's like, listen, you ain't even present. You are worried about Bill and that money when we've already gotten Bill secured. You are however many thousands of miles above the earth. You just left the White House, and you're just not even basking in where you just left. Like, just chill, mama. I'm gonna get your money for you. It's all right. And so he's like, listen, you worry about somebody that's gonna be dead by in the morning. So just be more present. I guess aptly is a message for everybody in life. Just be more present. All right. And then they start talking, flirting, and they do what grown people do. Okay. Back at the club, Teresa is pacing around, and she's asking Midnight, like, listen, why did you lie to me? Why did you lie to me? And he's like, no, why did you lie to me? That man didn't do nothing to you. And as I said last episode, show him the video. So it turns out Teresa's husband did show Midnight the video of Teresa slamming her own doggone head in the refrigerator or whatever she was doing. It was giving very much a thin line between love and hate. We're very much off her rocker. And she was like, man, why'd you do that? Because now he went to the cops, and the cops are now after me. And then Doc rolls up, and he was like, he thought Midnight was pushing up on Teresa, and so they get to fighting before he even gives the man a chance to explain. And Teresa is just child. She is not trying to spend her champagne. She has enjoyed every minute of these two men fighting over her. And then these fools commence to falling through the roof. They done fell through the roof. So chaos has ensued while Blue is in charge and Madam is off on her little rendezvous with the concierge. So that is season 2, episode 3. Things are definitely picking up. There's a whole lot of going on as it normally is. So like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.